is Wednesday, so a lot of you are probably just happy for hump day, like I am. Today's episode is a little deep. Well, let's not sugarcoat it. It's pretty deep, very disturbing and unsettling. And before we get into this, I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to the loved ones of everyone who was impacted and will be impacted by this case moving forward and prior. Caution. What we're about to discuss may not be for everyone. If you have a squeamish stomach, or if you're just extremely sensitive to the nature of what's actually going on in this particular situation, then you have been warned. This story was shared to me by 6Marines28 via Facebook, but I soon later found out that it was a bigger story than I initially thought it was. The case is so huge and preposterous to the fact that it's on every single platform that you can imagine. When I watched the video, I couldn't help but get a chill down my spine. I got goosebumps all over my arms, over my shoulders. I couldn't restrain myself from the bone-chilling story that was unfolding in front of me. You gotta understand, you hear about death and abuse and suicide and tragedy every day, so much so that it might appear as if it's the norm, but if there's still an ounce of human in you, I don't care how many times you see something like this, it hits different. It always hits different. It always feels like a part of you is missing or is being snatched from you. There's no way I could watch any video where someone's getting gunned down or someone is being hunted because of sexual ASSAULT, or someone dies in a car crash. I can't just watch anything like that and not feel something for it. played this video a couple times. I wanted to make sure I got the gist of it, because I want to go into a couple of things. Right now, the trial, or at least the investigation, is still underway. So, when I know further, or maybe you might know something that I might not know, please inform me. I have no problem getting information if it's going to be beneficial to the cause or to the case, or it brings justice. So, you see the name of the title. I don't know if you're familiar with the case. I don't know if you are aware of who this young lady is. Maybe you haven't heard the story. If not, I suggest you type in her name, it'll pop up. It's literally everywhere. You won't miss it. And then you'll get the grasp and the gist of just how severe this particular story is. I jump in front of this camera to talk about serious issues and express myself about the things that's going on in life, the nature of humans, and how we interact and intertwine with each other, and how we treat each other, and how we could do better, how we can integrate certain beliefs and certain ideals to cultivate something a little more healthier. I don't get on here for the fun of it. When I come across stories like this, I have to speak on it. I will speak on it. And it just won't be, censored. Now, I want to be very, very specific, and I want to go into this. Carlee Russell, 25-year-old nursing student. She was driving home or on her way somewhere, and it was pretty late at night. And I don't know how you are when you're on the road and you're tired and you're getting off of work, or you're just driving and you're on the highway. Maybe you listen to music, maybe you're not. Maybe you just want to think to yourself and just have some silence and reflect on how the day was. But when I'm driving and I'm on my way to and fro wherever it is, and it's late like that, you're not really thinking about whether or not someone's on the road walking on the side of it. And if you are the human and you see someone, innately you're just going to think, I'm not pulling over for them. They could be pulled over to the side of the road with their flashers on. They might have a flat tire. You really don't know what is going on with anyone being on the side of the road that late at night, let alone during the daytime. We typically just drive past people. History has shown that if you pull over and try to be a good Samaritan or a decent human being, a lot of the times the outcome is not going to go in your favor. A lot of people have gone missing and disappeared for being nice and being genuine, trying to help folks. But in her case, I guess she sees what was to be a child. There's a child on the side of the road at night. How does that happen? How is there a child on the side of a road at night? We're gonna go into that.
This heart is being given child that you put aside. The check on the child, stop checks on the child, and hold this back, make a report. And somewhere between the time of her making the call and people will, the dispatcher is the
What's going on, bro?
situation between her and unknown.
What's up with it?
Where the rock between the cell phone gets a lot of noise and goes for 49 approximate hours. No wages in
Coming in?
but because he was able to make the phone call, the police were able to get in contact with the child and through that they turned that one phone call into a national security. Now, while all this is going on, 49 hours after her disappearance, she ends up finding her way back to her place of residence. Police, the hospital that want to obey their glad that happy, everyone sad that she's still alive, the child's alive. The investigation continues on the court. Here we are right now talking about what many are speaking on. This brings to me the kid's story. So if you would like to pick up from where I'm at, you can. Or I can now if there was wrong. But I don't know if it's real sound. So I'll know like I can't hear you.
I don't think you can hear me.
Here's my problem. I'm a speak on this while you get your audio like I can't hear you. I have to come out, come back in. There's a couple of things that kind of rubs me the wrong way about all of this. I was a child on the road. At that time of life, only only explanation I could have conscious that you know a thing or something that actually had to happen is just there was a scenario that took place where the parents or the siblings got into some type of unfortunate accident or child got get out of whatever harm way they would come home with just a pity, past, sadness, kids. Or this was a methodical, drawn out, damn perfectly executed plan to set some unexpected different up. Because there's no way that you're just going to so happen to be driving past and have a kid that's sitting on the side of the road and think nothing about it. And then on top of that, you got to think also, too, he wasn't the first person to drive past. He took it through. Just from my way of thinking, he thought, why did anyone else see? Especially leading up to her thing. The style person sent out right as he was driving. Or was it just some random attempt to get anybody? So if this was random, which it seems like it's pretty random, then they have they haven't done that before. Really random. When else you get a chance to actually put it to yourself and hear the story behind it and how it's set up and everything that comes with that whole blueprint. Look at it. And you tell me that this was a collective. There's absolutely no way a child is just going to randomly be on a highway side of the road at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And that's something real tricky going on. And most people who decide to put those shoes on, there's a lot of things wrong with it. I'm glad you found. I'm happy that no one lost their life out of this week. But now we gotta just talk about things that come into play here. And this is why I always end up having an issue with humanity to a certain degree. Now, you had folks that was on the phone, you had people rallying and coming together trying to put out the anger of it, all these different things, trying Carlee and make sure that the kids were cool. He still has dozens and dozens of cars that just happen to be 15 drive. Everyone goes past the whole situation. So you mean to tell me not only did he drive past the kids before Carlee started there herself, but he goes past Carlee when she was on the phone with the kids and she got into an altercation with someone who was trying to catch her up. Well, apparently they did that. So for whatever reason, God didn't know it because everyone was, behind them finding him for stuff do with that. Ain't my daughter, ain't my ain't my nephew, ain't nobody related. Watch like this. That attitude right there. That attitude right there is one of the main components of why society is the way it is now. I understand you gotta be hard. No one is realistically trying to pull over stop somebody, especially at night. Everyone do it on the day. But we talking about kids. And here's my thing. They father, he made it home. I see, bro. He was around, he got behind us. But now what? But I see two fathers. Who is the kid? His child was. How was the child able to be put in such a dangerous situation? Who thought it was okay to use a kid to snatch someone up on the side of the road? What time you were doing this? Were they the parents of the kid? Did you snatch the kid up? Did you use the kid? Who was the people behind the attempt to take the kid and do God or what? Story has come out. We don't know her side. We don't know what her experience was. Maybe she saw them, maybe she didn't see them, maybe just like this, God is still cognizant enough to recognize it. This time, maybe you don't know or recognize them at all. What are we doing? What are we doing with this case? How are we going to handle it? What are we going to do moving forward? Whether it's going to go back? Does it make you not want to be a fixed American and pull over and hit someone fix back under their wheel? Does it further make you not want to be bothered with other human beings? Does it make you question everything that you come across? I guess you're being honest with yourself. Every day we walk around something. Some of them dress the part, some of them don't. Some of them you think are just the most perfect people in the world. Dress well, smell good, married. And you assume that some maybe keep happening of who is coming started with. But we don't live from that stuff. Maybe you do, I don't. We come from all this side. That's the message for pretty good stuff. Not with the verbiage, vocabulary, the demeanor, not black, not always loud, not always peace. Who was we going to blame for this? Who's that for? Who feel they need to, who feel how who feel that person who's going on that thing. If you really look at it, this absolutely no way this is a one-time piece, right? This is no first rodeo. You're out here looking around, smacking people up, probably murder people, probably rape people, you probably done some unforgiving, unspeakable things. Probably watching the news right now, like every single move that's top, got a top. Time, every single time we have to give up too much information publicly. Both sides, we evaluate how you will make business, like so we have some sort of that we got so long that we get voted for your trying to be more. I don't think I my spirit because that's what it is. It's not God. You won't make other stuff. The reason why you get away with what you getting away with, because the people that was like the ones that was driving past was trying to, not cause that. Because of people like that saw that child on the road and kept going. Because of people like them that get away with it, that continue to do it. Now, the criminal who's roaming free as a committing all those acts of violence to someone's love. That's someone's love. And we got the ones who actually care about the well-being of our family and friends. We have to deal with these children free and roaming from God knows what. Because humans don't want to be humans anymore. We have to take on the burden of the grief. We get to continue on going with these people. I have a problem with the I have a problem with ignorance. I have a problem with people being self. I don't know. How's my sound now? Am I coming in here a little clear? Clear? Sound check. Let me know. Let me know. I'll pop on my chest. All right, I'm back. Make sure I try to connect my Bluetooth. Yo, 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 yo. Uh, he's gonna give me a hard time too. All right.
So basically, what's going on is if you want a quick summary of what we're talking about, maybe you've seen the story, maybe you haven't. Carlee Russell, 25-year-old nursing student, she made her way back to her residence after she was on the highway driving, and she saw a child on the side of the road. Decided to check on the child, called dispatch, got into a tussle. Someone attempted to kidnap her. The people rallied together. They managed to recover the child. They managed to find Carlee intact, and now they're in further investigation as in regards to what happened, where it happened, and how did it begin, and all of these different things of the story. My issue is how could a human being, man or woman, come to the idea in their head to use a child to bait someone into their trap and then snatch them up. How do we get to this point in life where we using children to do our dirt? It was one thing. It's one thing when you doing the shit on your own, but now you're getting more creative. Now that's new to me. If she lied about the whole situation, now we talking about something completely different. Because if the whole story is made up, then what are we doing with her? How do you how do you I'm actually gonna have to do that. I'm gonna do that because I saw two separate stories, and these were from a day ago. So maybe there's something that I'm missing, and we might have to spin the block back on this because I feel this is how I feel. If the story was true, then I stand on everything I said. The shit is sick. Between you, the people driving past, seeing a child on the side of the road and ignoring the child, and she being the only person to step in and say, "Okay, this is dangerous. This child could get hit or anything. Let me do something." If that's the case, everybody should be held accountable. If she's lying, now we have to look at it from a whole different point of view because now what's going on is what did you do that for? What was the point of making up such a grievous story? You're stressing out people. You stressed out your family, your friends. People are panicked. The news, everyone is going crazy over this whole thing. What did you do it for if you lied? Was it for attention? Was it to get a buzz? Was it for likes and ads and all of this stuff on TikTok? Because let me tell you something. If this was false and you made all this up, do you think you're going to keep your job? If that's a legitimate place of employment where they value their integrity and what they stand on as far as their clientele and who they have working under their umbrella, if they really value their work ethic, you're not keeping your job. You're absolutely going to be sent a pink slip. And they should be. They should be. I'm sitting here trying to figure out whose child is this? What kind of adult leave their child abandoned on the side of the road? Looking at the story, someone just randomly is a good Samaritan at the middle of the night, pull over, see a kid, call the police. You you telling me you falsified an entire story? You created a whole elaborate scenario just for what? Yeah, you should absolutely get some charges coming to you. But you know what that shows me too? It, it tells me more about the person, about your character. I'm getting something that on a surface level people probably would ignore, but if you look at the paper trail from what I was seeing, from what you're telling me now, you know what kind of person you would have to be able to operate and move like that, to lie, to sell the lie, to put on the performance. You know what kind of person you have to be able to do this with a straight face. You mean to tell me you did all of that and it wasn't real, and then you committed to the bullshit so convincingly that you even walked home, or you disappeared and then reappeared like Houdini? Funny and sad part about that is there's other people like her out here in the world. That's exactly where I was going with that whole point. With if she's lying and all this is bull, there's other people like her like that that will go out their way just to get attention. I don't know what that was about. There's always more than one side, and correct me if I'm wrong. Because either way, nothing about this whole story is cool on any level. Thank you for sharing that information with me, though, because I'm sitting here trying to figure out how could a person be so evil as to use a child to abduct people randomly from off the side of the road? Because not as if there's not people doing that. I've seen on the news just in the past few weeks of folks sexually assaulting women, getting off the train, walking from certain places, jogging and all type of shit like that. It happens broad daylight because they know the area and they probably been watching people. It never amazes me. I ain't gonna hold you though. When I saw the story, I wasn't surprised. If it really happened the way that they were reporting it, I wouldn't have been surprised. Every time I turn on the news, somebody getting shot on a bus, in an Uber, walking, in the club, in the wrong place at the wrong time. You see it so frequently shocked. It's kind of like you just grabbing a bottle of water and drinking it because you hydrated. That's how common it is. But just because it's happening frequently doesn't make it okay or make any of it right. It's a sad time we in. It really is. And I don't look at every human being as horrible or manipulative or whatever what you want to call it, but stories like this just make you want to be very cautious about who you got around, who you allow in your life, in your family's life. And I asked earlier, does this change the way you go about driving on a regular basis? Would you stop to help somebody? Would you put yourself at risk like that? If you saw someone on the side of the road and they needed help, would you stop them? The majority would probably say no. There's no way in the fucking world they're gonna do it. Because, like I said, history has proven that you kind of just shoot yourself in the foot trying to be nice, and that's the problem too, man. Nobody wants to be a good Samaritan anymore. It seems like being a good Samaritan gets you screwed over. Agreed. Agreed. A lot of people follow mentally ill people. Folks not getting treated. Folks ignoring the signs. Folks using them. You'll have people who know they mentally ill and still use them for their own gain. People have some of the most selfish motives when it comes to dealing with others. Oh yeah. You're right. I've heard that before too. I actually seen a couple. There was a YouTube short I saw where a Caucasian lady walked up to a off-duty cop's place of residence. He has a ring door camera, so he can see everything. And she tried to play that same role that you just described, but he knew what was up. I forgot how I played it out, but when the video was over, the people that were on the side of the house waiting for him to open the door for her realized that the plan wasn't going the way she wanted or they wanted. Terrible. It's terrible. But I'm gonna keep up on that. I'm gonna actually check that out in the morning and see if there's any new leads or updates to the whole case. Because I'm pretty sure for the next week, next 2-3 weeks, is going to be the main subject until there's something else. You know how this shit go. Right now, she's all over the internet. She's all over social media. She's everywhere. They're going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to give their opinion about whether she was in the right or in the wrong. They're going to talk about all of it. They're going to try to cover every single angle possible until it's no longer a valuable story to them, and then they're going to move on to the next one because there's always going to be a next one. Always going to be a next one. What are we doing here, though? How do we feel about this? Y'all do y'all research just like I got to do mine, and you let me know how you feel about this. Because we can sit here and act like we're not a part of this world, but we are, and we do have some sense of responsibility by how our community is, but no one wants to really take accountability for that. No one wants to take that road. Right. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody here. We love one family, man. We gotta do better. And I know this really isn't directly tied into us, but at the end of the day, it kind of is tied into us because we are people who drive on the road and drive past people. We see things going on that's not right, and we ignore it, turn our back to it. We're not as innocent as we would like to believe to a certain degree. And even if this story isn't actually real, the truth of the matter is there are people just like that, as you just said in the comment section. It's food for thought. But this is no cap all world. We will be back here tomorrow live with another one. Maybe this story might tie into the other one. Who knows how we're going to come or proceed with it. But we will be back tomorrow, same time. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this story. Thank you all for coming out, hanging. Until then, I will catch you on the flip. This is the Eventually signing out.